Yes, no, bless no. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV signing in. I got a couple of beers with me tonight. Chaosphere, the third album by Meshuggah. This is our first entry into this band on this channel, and it goes out to, hold on, bada bing. Let me just sort out the title, 1 second. This is devoted to my man Philo, who puts us onto some fantastic metal. You know what? I was in two minds about ever doing Meshuggah on this channel. One of the reasons is because I'm not so clued up on the band that I don't know if a lot of their music is going to be samey, you know? I know they're incredibly complex and rhythmic, but I've not known enough of this band to know as to whether I'm going to have heaps to talk about. So this is going to be a good one, because we're going to find out. This first, well, it's 8 tunes, relatively short until we get to the last track, entitled Elastic, at 15 minutes. Maybe it's a hidden track, maybe it's actually 15 minutes. This first one is entitled Concatenation. Let's go. Sipping on a brew dog tonight. Put out by Atomic Fire. I've never heard of Atomic Fire. Lyricist and writer, Hack, if that's pronounced right. Composer, Meshuggah. Composer, Fordendal. Sweden, eh? They really know how to start an album, says JR8NF. Which is true, yes, straight to the point. Straight to the point. Do people mosh to Meshuggah, like push pit to Meshuggah? Did they actually? I assume they do, because they are an extreme band, but you know, it's not got the beat and the rhythm of a toe tapper. You know what I mean? A proper dance floor shindigger. But I assume so. People are gonna mosh. This is intense music, right? This guy says, I love nearly all their songs, but this one still gets me lost because I don't hear the groove. Ba-ba-dub, ba-ba-dub, ba-ba-dub. Very good. Very good. Very good. If that guy says that he couldn't find the groove in this one in particular, that might actually be a really good sign, and that we've got some great grooves coming up on this record. That was fine. Like, I could move to that, but I think you have to flow with the music as opposed to trying to be on the beat. You know what I mean? Oh, I can headbang with emphasis. It's not the type for that unless you know the tunes inside and out. We got New Millennium Cyanide Christ coming up next. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, signing in. New Millennium Cyanide Christ is an epic title, and it's track number 2 off of Chaosphere, the 98 record by Meshuggah. That's what we're listening to today, and we're going to jam in 3, 2, 1... You hear that bass guitar just rattling there. The high end. The album artwork is ignorant. It's like an industrial record artwork. This guy, Luke Nunn, says this song is a legend. I got through heroin withdrawals with Meshuggah. Bro, imagine going through heroin withdrawals and listening to this. Bloody hell, that's a headache, that, eh? Come on. Thing is, regardless of the time signature, with the polyrhythms going from time to time, you can still catch a simple 4-beat. I mean, the rest of the record might be going elsewhere, but with the cymbal we got going here. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, you can headbang. Very scarce on the snare hits there. When them guitar solos come in and the vocals come out and you can just quite simply hear the groove and the drums, that is when I think this band really shines. Because just that groove by itself, just cycling through, it's so intense. There's no beginning and no ending to it, man. Heavy. I've seen videos of these dudes and people give just as much props to the lighting engineer who follows them about, because he's performing the lights in rhythm to the band. So the guy knows the numbers inside and out, and I guess that's part of the selling point of Meshuggah. They must have just been like, dude, we're going to be like larger than life if you can time the lights to our playing, you know? Come on. I can't follow that riff. Fade out. That's fantastic. That's so good. This is a great recommendation, so I want to give it up to Philo, recommended this on the Patreon, man. This is more exciting than I actually expected a Meshuggah playthrough to be. Incredibly intense. I don't know how people can listen to this band consistently, because you need to settle down to listen to the intensity of this music. We got Corridor of Chameleons, which is an epic song title, coming up next. Let's keep on going. Yes, now blessed. Now don't forget the rest now. Corridor of Chameleons is track numero 3 of 8 on the record Chaosphere. Released in 1998 by Meshuggah. I like the title of this track. I think this is a really cool song title. So let's jump straight in. I just want to say there's a fantastic hardcore number called Chameleon. Well, oi-infused hardcore punk track by a band called Slapshot, Boston hardcore band Legends. Track's called Chameleon. You know, you gotta check if you're into, you know, extreme music through whichever space in the spectrum. You gotta check out Chameleon by Slapshot. Great tune. Some of it is not necessarily down to it being so complex you can't follow it. It's just that when you manage to work out the rhythm of some of these riffs, it switches into the next riff and then you're back to square one, you know? Someone says in 6-second times, Meshuggah teaches new metal to the world. There is a new metal element to the band. Sounds like a hardcore tune. It sounds like a disembodied, i.e. Knocked loose style of riffing this before they kick into a breakdown, you know. I'm going to go back on this because that was rewind material. I think this is less nu metal. This is actually quite hardcore. This is like modern hardcore sound. The panic chords, and then it kicks into an actual breakdown. When I say hardcore, I don't mean hardcore punk, people. You know exactly what I mean. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. This riff has made this my favourite song so far. It's just a mosh, man. This is a mosh. If this was like in a drop D sense, in like a hardcore band, like a tough guy, heavy hardcore band, this would go off. This would be like in a top 5 best breakdown compilation. It's that good. Two fade outs, back to back. Yeah, that was my favourite so far. That was a great breakdown, man. Groovy as hell. That was a great breakdown. We got Neurotica coming up next. Let's waste no time. Let's jump straight in.
Put your harness on.
There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Meshuggah's Chaosphere record as recommended on Patreon via Philo Bedo, who's put us on some fantastic music. Last track was a banger. This one's Neurotica. Let's jump straight in. Have we got another ad? We got another ad. Get yourself some Oreo nails. Get yourself some Oreo ice cream. Get yourself something to suck on. Let's go. Come on. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. Let's go. We got some rapping on this one. Come on. Ba-ba-dum. Bam, bam, bam. I've actually gone beyond listening to riffs now. And I'm just grooving with the band, man. I'm just grooving with the band. I know the time signature thing is like, I think the more you pay attention to it, the harder it is to follow. When you just take it as a big picture and you just let it just flow over the top of it, you can just catch the groove nice, man. When I say catch the groove, generally speaking, that cymbal is, for the most part, in 4. So you can just jam along with that, and I think that's the brilliance of this. Maybe they've done this intentionally. The idea of putting the cymbal, the highest register, the highest frequency in 4, just gives you a nice alert as to where we're at, you know? Come on. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bow. Come on. Come on. Is this going to flow into the next track, I wonder? You just knew it was going to flow. You just knew it was going to flow. Let's keep going. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV, signing in. And without further ado, let's jump straight in. The mouth licking what you've bled. What a hard title. This is Meshuggah, Chaosphere, track 5 of 8. Neurotica led into this. Let's go. Here we go. Yo, do you know one band that I put alongside this band? And they're unique in their own sort of way, but correlate with this sort of time signature breakdown-esque stuff. There's multiple bands, right, as far as like metalcore is concerned, but Born of Osiris. From what I heard of Born of Osiris back in the day, I put them hand in hand with Meshuggah. Not that they sound alike. Meshuggah more heavy, but Born of Osiris, rhythmically speaking, we should do some Born of Osiris next, most definitely. Born of Osiris were hard as nails, man. When I say metalcore, because another band that came to mind was August Burns Red. August Burns Red had a lot of rhythmic breakdown areas. Let's go. Jeez Louise. Mic check. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Let's keep going. A lot of fade outs on this record. The mouth licking what you've bled. Another fade out. We got plenty of fade outs. You know what? Let me give you my opinion on the fade outs. I think for a band as impactful, prompt, tight and concentrated as this, I think the fade outs are just detrimental to the overall sound. I think we should boom, be in, boom, be out. I don't think we should be slowly fading out unless it's like a drag on the last song on the record. That's my opinion. I think track by track it's just overkill. I think it's a very bad production idea, personally. I think it's a bad idea. Let's keep going. Sane is coming up next. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. We're doing this listen through to Chaosphere by Meshuggah, as recommended by Philo Bedeau on the Patreon. This has been a great listen through. This has been a great record as of so far. This one's called Sane. Let's go. Track 6. Some tempo, eh? Bam. Let's go. Now. Bow, ba-da, ba-ba-da, bow, da-da, ba-ba-da. Ooh. That was good. That was good. Someone said it sounds like Primal Concrete Sledge. All fade outs on this record. You know, I don't even want to listen to the fade outs. Don't. But I had a rant and a rave about the fade outs on the last song. I don't even want to listen to the fade outs, man. They're too long. The fade outs are way too long. We got Exquisite Machinery of Torture. Oh, jeez, jumping straight in. Let's go. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV, listening to Meshuggah, Chaosphere. This one is the Exquisite Machinery of Torture. Let's go. Get back, Chabby. Come on. Fuck. That's no metal, that. Pwah. Bow. 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 Paw. Come on. Wah. I always feel smart when I hear a 4-beat. I feel super smart when it comes to it when this band. Right, let's finish this off. I'm very happy that we don't have a fade out and that we got Elastic, which may possibly be an epic. Only 51k views. Let's find out what this is. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV, signing in and signing out on Chaosphere. This is the last track of the record at 15 minutes. I don't know what to expect. Might be a hidden track on here. Might actually be 15 minutes. It's the least viewed track of all. So, hey, track 8 of 8. This goes out to Philo Badeau. Recommended this on the Patreon. Let's go. Different production as far as like the playlist is concerned. Oh, this guy says the last part is every song in the album put together. Meshuggah were doing the every band song played at one stream before it was a thing. Yeah, there's 2 parts. Let's go. Let's go. I like this. That guitar, if it is a guitar, is like a violin of sorts. Like strings, right? Maybe not a violin, but strings. Come on. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Come on. Ignorant, man. Come on. That was ignorant. First comment, Guitar 6. This is horrible. Bruh, that was ignorant. Imagine paying for an album in the 90s and 1/3 of it is literally ear rape screaming nonsense. What we got going on? But bro, that tightness there at the end was ignorant. Oh, that's the brown note right there. I'm pooing myself. Here we go. Oh, is this like a mix of everything? Oddly enough, there is some degree of consistency in this noise right about now. But then again, we've been listening to Meshuggah for the best part of 40 minutes. Initially, when it kicked in, I thought they were just blast beat, and I thought it was almost like a death metal sort of driven. Pure audio assault. I've got to respect it. I've got to respect it. I've got to respect it. This tight bit was the best bit. I think that was the best bit of the record, maybe. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be the best bit. That was awesome. That was awesome. I'm going to do one more video, one final video. I'll give you my final overview of this record. And I'll rate it out of 10, alright? I'll see you there. Des Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. I've been sipping through this record. What a great record to have a couple of drinks to and enjoy my night. Meshuggah. It was recommended by Philo Bedeau on the Patreon. He said, bruh, check out Chaosphere. Had a little Wikipedia. Well, I had a Google just to see where this album fell in the, historical sense. Album number 3. So, you know what? I might have to go to the first 2 albums at this point, because initially I thought, I've considered doing Meshuggah in the past by my own sort of want, and I've been turned off by the idea that the band is gonna not necessarily give me much to talk about, as generally I assumed the band would be like for 10 songs straight. I had plenty to talk about. This was a good record. This was a good record. To put it lightly. 1998, this was put out. Man, where do we start? So before we even get into the composition, let's talk about the instrumental. Guitars, 7-string. Drop A? Lower than drop A? What would you say? Overt distorted guitars. Great bass presence. Good high end on the bass. We heard it reverberating through the track. Quality drumming. In my opinion, the snare could have done with a little more wallop, a little more volume perhaps, a little more of an attack to it. Vocals, good, but not, I don't mean to be disrespectful, because I don't want this to be a disrespectful review, to be honest, because I enjoyed the record. But to be honest, I'd have a different vocalist, a different frontman to Meshuggah. But that's my personal taste, because I've got a different taste to you and the next person and the person after that. I'd have a different vocalist. Not down to, artistic merit, but more so just down to the approach of things. I'd have a different element with the frontman. Man, where do you start? So, it was consistent. There was no downside to this record. If you like what you hear, you'll like what you hear. I think a lot of what I'm going to say is going to correlate with a lot of Meshuggah records. It's intense. If you can listen to this material consistently, man, I'm a fan of extreme music, but if you can listen to this consistently, I salute you, because man, like, it's intense. And it should not be intense, let me say that. It should not, but due to the fact we have been engineered, at least in the Western world, at least in England, we've been socially engineered to appreciate and be aware of and be familiar with 4/4 music. So anything external to that is a bit uncomfortable. And uncomfortable brings dissatisfaction. And psychologically speaking, I'm a songwriter, and I know the ins and outs of songwriting, and I know why. It's because I don't want to put a piece of work on and feel dumb for listening to it. It's going to make me think, fuck that. Subconsciously, I'm going to be pushing it away, because it's like, fuck that. Whereas something that I understand and can follow, I'm more so to be like, brilliant. This pleases my ego. This correlates with the spirit that is within, that has been harboured since the day I was born through my parents listening to 80s music listening to Duran Duran, you know? They weren't playing in time signatures like that. So, it's intense. Is it fun? Yes. Is there a novelty? Yes, there is a novelty. Is it industrial? Is it nu metal? Yes. More so than it is death metal, more so than it is thrash metal, more so than it is heavy metal and everything in between. Down to the artwork. I think there's an appropriate amount of material on the record. Any shorter... You know what? Shorter would be a bolder statement. Because we sort of know where we're going anyway. 4 songs in, we know we're going to have 4 songs of the same. But if we had 6 songs, 7 songs of that and had it a brief record, the impact would be tenfold, I would reckon. I would reckon personally. I like the atmosphere, the song titles. The song titles are good. I don't follow the lyrical content, so I'm not too fussed on that. I'm not going to read it. I don't care. And I hate it in a fantastic way. I'm going to give this a good rating. I'm going to give it a good rating. I'm going to give this record 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Because this is such a great change from the norm. I've got to appreciate it. It's so ahead of its time. Because you had the whole Gent thing. And I know Gent had a different sound to it. And Gent, but I would argue that most of the difference in sound was down to the higher rate production value. The studio magic and wizardry. But this was so ahead of its time. Possessed so many great elements. Great song titles. So I know the lyrical content was good. Concentrated, powerful. I mean, powerful is... There's better words to describe this record, but powerful, most definitely. Most definitely. From second number 1, we're in. I don't like the fade outs on the songs. I think that takes away from the emphasis and the concentrated power that Meshuggah have. The fade outs are nonsense. I don't want the fade outs. I dislike the fade outs a lot. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. Yeah, I've got a great feel for recommending this record. I'm going to do more Meshuggah after this because there's so much to talk about. And the brilliance is you don't know how to talk about it. The guitar solos, interesting. Great, you tell me. Interesting, definitely. Who doesn't want to listen to interesting music? People tend to say interesting as sort of an indirect negative. Or that person is interesting, to say they're odd, weird. This is odd and weird, but I say interesting to say I'm actually caring. Because guitar solos are boring as hell to me. 8 out of 10, most definite. Most definite. And on that note, let's check out the Wikipedia, see if there's any factoids there, alright? Yo, there's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV. Let's finish this assessment of Chaosphere by the band entitled Meshuggah. We got the Wikipedia page. We're going to have a little bit of a... normally I would call it a deep dive. It might not necessarily be a deep dive in this sense because we've only got limited information. But let's see what we can comment on, okay? So Chaosphere, we just listened to the record. If you want to check out my song-by-song playthrough or my actual review and rating of the record, it'll be on my channel by now. So Chaosphere is the 3rd studio album by Swedish extreme metal. I would call them an extreme band. Would you? I know there's defining... well, there's a broad defining sort of spectrum as far as extreme is concerned, but this band is pretty intense, right? So the Swedish extreme metal band Meshuggah, it was released on 9th of November 98 by Nuclear Blast, okay? It didn't state that in the album, well, in the song-by-song description on YouTube. And it's the only studio album to feature bassist Gustav Hilm. Chaosphere's sound shows the band toning down some of the thrash style of their previous releases in favour, and we're going to have a look at them records, most definite, in favour of the technical, polyrhythmic, groove-orientated sound they would continue to explore on subsequent albums. That's what we know Meshuggah for. Love them or hate them, that's what you know the band for. A video was made for New Millennium singing it. Cyanide Quest. I've been sipping tonight, people, come on. The Japanese version of the album contains a bonus song titled Unanything. It's track number 9. This song was also included on the promotional card sleeve CD as track 6. On both this and the standard album release, after Elastic, there is a period of silence, then an unlisted and unindexed track where 4 of the album songs are played at once. Let's be real, it's a waste of time for everybody. Why are you going to play 4 songs at once and just made this unlistenable noise? It's a waste of time. I don't get by it. I don't think it's content at all. And I say content in the 2020 plus sense, you know. We are looking for content. We are looking for engagement. We are looking for an audience to enjoy our art, however it may be. We can't enjoy that. Come on. You tell me one person who enjoys it seriously, and I'll look at them and I'll say, explain yourself. With volume changes being each song somewhat dominant and recognisable in the mix at different times. I didn't know that. That's quite interesting. The Reloaded release features 5 of the 6 tracks from the True Human Design EP. Okay, True Human Design is the 4th EP by the band Meshuggah. It was released through Nuclear Blast in 97. Fascinating. We didn't listen to that variation. So it was released on the 9th of November 98, and it was recorded from May to July 98. Studio was the Dugout in Uppsala, Sweden. Area 51 and U Function Studio, Stockholm, Sweden. Genre is progressive metal. I would call it prog. I would not call it prog. Groove metal. I'd call it groove metal before prog, personally. And avant-garde metal. Avant-garde, what does that even mean? It's a subgenre of heavy metal, loosely defined by use of experimentation and innovative avant-garde elements, including non-standard and unconventional sounds, instruments, songs. Avant-garde. That I have never ever. I've dealt with metalheads throughout my entire life. I have never come across anybody reference avant-garde metal ever. Length 47 minutes 20 seconds. Label Nuclear Blast. Producer Daniel Bergstrand and Frederick Fornadal, which is a member of the band. Prior to this, we had the True Human Design. Oh, but that's referencing that EP. From there, we got Rare Tracks, which is a compilation album. So it seems like we're releasing consistently, but Rare Tracks was actually 3 years afterwards, and it wasn't actually an album. Interesting. So track listing, we listened to that 8 tunes, and then Japanese bonus track had Unanything at 3 minutes 1, and then the re-release had demo versions, mayhem versions, campfire versions, futile bread machine. Jeez, I wonder what the re-release was saying. Personnel, we got Jens Kidman on vocals. Jens doesn't get respect. This guy doesn't get respect. He wasn't referenced at all in the comments. I don't know a Jens Kidman. Frederick Fornadal on lead guitar and keyboards. I know him because he's referenced all the way through the record. Martin Hagstrom, rhythm guitar. I think I've seen Hagstrom referenced once. Gustav, just for this record, I've seen you on the Wikipedia. Hark on drums, vocals on the Saint and Exquisite, Machinery of Torture. Yeah, Thomas, I've seen this guy referenced because why not? He's the drummer, right? And the drummer, geez, that's the polyrhythm sort of central. Production, we got Bergstrand on recording and mixdown, Frederick Fornadal on recording and mixdown, Peter in Betu mastering, and that's at the cutting room in Stockholm. Thomas Hark, artwork and design. So the drummer actually did the artwork as well. Meshuggah did the... Meshuggah's getting credit for the art direction. Bro, creating the artwork in itself is the art direction. John Nottinger did the band photo. We haven't seen the band photo, and we don't care about the band photo. It's about the music. And that's me finalising this listen through to Chaosphere by Meshuggah. I've been critical and cracked a few jokes on this, but I enjoyed the record. So I'm signing out. Peace.